Hey friends, welcome back to Landline Chats. First of all, I want to introduce my daughter. This is Winnie. Hopefully she behaves for this episode. She might not. I'm hoping she falls asleep. But say hi, Winnie. Hello. No, okay, I'm not going to start playing with you. She's all, I'm going to bite your hand. She's teething. Um, but today's episode is called Midlife, the Change, and what the fuck is happening? Because that's exactly how I feel right now. Um, this is by far like the most interesting time that I've experienced in my life. Um, yeah, I'm gonna get into it. But lately, I've just been thinking a lot about time, not like in a scary way, but kind of like in a really real way. Um, I don't know, when you're younger, and I don't know how you guys feel about this, but I'm super curious. Um, when you're younger, you don't think about death. You know what I mean? It almost feels like you're gonna live forever. You know what I mean? It's kind of like that frame of mind. Um, Mentally, I still feel like I'm in my 20s, and I'm obviously not. I'm about to turn 46 in about a month and a half. But my body and my emotional world are like clearly shifting in like such a huge way. And I really wanted to talk about this because, like we were talking about earlier, nobody talks about this stuff. Like, nobody prepares you for what life feels like mentally and physically in your mid 40s. And it's kind of a mind fuck. I'm like, it kind of hit me like a ton of bricks that I was like, what's happening right now? And, there's like obviously a lot of expats here. And I've talked about this with some of the women, and they're like in their 70s, and they're like, mentally, I still feel like I'm in my 20s and 30s. And I'm like, that feels great to hear because I feel absolutely insane. Um, but I think a lot of this kind of lines up with perimenopause, and that's what I really want to talk about. And another thing that like nobody prepares women for, Carlos, you really have to pay attention to this
Yeah,
because listen up. This
will
is
do.
take notes.
Okay.
Like women start to reach perimenopause anywhere from the age of like 35 to like their early 40s. Like your hormones can start shifting. And like the shitty thing about it is that like women don't actually know what's going on with their bodies, and you start experiencing these changes, and you're like, nobody knows what the fuck is going on. Like nobody knows what's going on because there's not a lot of education or light on it, and we're just getting to the point now where we're like finding things out. So it's important for you to know so that you can support Lauren if you end up going through it at some point. And it's like it's different for everybody obviously, but it's like um I hope that you don't experience it. Do you know if your mom experienced menopause like in a heavy way?
My mom had a hysterectomy when she was like in
Oh,
her
so did my mom.
40s,
Yeah.
so she had a different experience, like
Yeah.
just in terms of like hormones and
Mm-hmm.
and estrogen. She has one ovary, so she had some
Okay.
estrogen, but not a lot going on.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure. We'll see.
See, that was the thing. That's what my mom said too. My mom had a hysterectomy also. So she didn't actually go through like the big change. And that's what they call it. They're like the big change. But I'm like, what's the change? Literally nobody knows what the change is. It kind of was always this like big mystery to me that I felt afraid of. And I also felt kind of like, I don't know, I had it in the back of my head for a long time, and I didn't want to like confront it or like talk about it because it felt like this black and white kind of situation. It's like you're going through the big change and you're about to get old. Like that just feels like the narrative around it. And I don't know, like I know I shouldn't feel this way, but I've kind of felt this like embarrassment around it. Like there's just a weird shame because there's like, again, nobody really talks about this stuff. So it's like, so I have a lot of notes on this, but basically, like what happens is there's your estrogen and your progesterone starts to fluctuate like crazy. And so, I mean, as women, we experience periods, every month. And so you have like the hormones the week before. What is it called? Um,
I should know these types of things.
I'm all, what is it?
I feel-
Carlos is like,
I-
you got me. I have no idea.
Cycle, the sixth
Cycle.
Oh, there's different steps of the cycle. I just don't know exactly.
Yeah. But it's like you start to experience like, you know, the hormones before you're about to start your period. And so it's like moodiness and, you know, like, you know, the ups and downs of like the emotions and things like that. So and I can't stop thinking about this, but my mom would literally tell me like, "Hey, it's about that time." And I would get upset with her. I'm like, "Mom, I'm not old." Like, because it was so black and white. I'm like, "I'm not old. Don't talk about that to me." You know, like I don't want to discuss this. And so, but I'll never forget because basically like with perimenopause, it's not like a slow burn. Like it actually kind of happens somewhat fast. You start to like feel some symptoms and like experiencing things like pretty quickly. And so, and I think I probably told you this story, but last year I always have trouble sleeping, but this was like, it started to get to where I was just like restless all the time. But I remember waking up one night. I was so hot. I mean, like, I woke up drenched in sweat, like I'd sweat through my pajamas. Oops, I touched the mic, sorry. I sweat through my pajamas and I could not cool down. And I ended up like switching my pajamas out because I was like drenched in sweat. And I was like, this is weird, you know, like I'd never experienced this before. And then it started happening like more frequently. And then I also noticed that my mood was, I felt PMSing. That's what it is. I felt like I was PMSing every day. And I'm like, you know, having like up and down, like feeling agitated and irritable and like crying out of nowhere. Everything. I mean, I'm a little bit of a crier, but everything made me want to cry. And I started to feel kind of like, okay, this feels different. You know what I mean? And then like I call it hot lava fee, but now like when I'm in public, I literally think about how much I want to take my shoes off and my socks off because my feet are so fucking hot all the time. I'm like, I just want to can I walk around barefoot? I'm like, I just want to put my feet in like an ice bath. That sounds so nice. But you start to experience these symptoms. The thing that is crazy to me is that women went through this without knowing what was going on. Doctors couldn't tell you what was going on. So you're just like, you feel completely out of control of your body, like mentally and physically. You're like, and like when you're hot, it's like such an uncomfortable feeling. And you're just like, I can't stop sweating. You know what I mean? And it makes you even more irritable and things like that. So welcome to perimenopause. But the other thing that I've been thinking about too is like, it's really important. Like there's so much more like education and like new facts coming out, you know, about perimenopause and menopause. And I think it's really important for like family members to know, for like men to know, so that we as women can be supported, you know, in this. And yeah, it's kind of crazy. It's like, it's kind of a scary time.
Yeah, I think for the longest time, women were basically told, like, suck it up.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like if they went to the doctor for these types of symptoms, the doctor's like, I don't
Yeah.
care. Are you going to die? No.
No, 100%.
So we just dealt with it, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, some of the stories that I've heard from women where, I mean, just the constant gaslighting. And it's like, in I actually watched a podcast last year. I'll have to look it up. It was really informative. But one of the highest suicide rates for women is at 50, and that's when they hit menopause. And they have no idea. I'm not a doctor, so I'm not giving any advice about this, like whatsoever. But you can supplement your hormones, and people didn't know that. I think that's kind of the other stigma around it is people are saying that, HRT, hormone replacement therapy, that it was causing breast cancer. Like I said, I'm not a doctor, do your research, but a lot of women, like, again, it hits you like a freaking semi truck. All of a sudden, they get hit with full blown menopause and they're not hormonally prepared for it or mentally prepared for it. And a lot of the things that comes along with perimenopause and menopause is like women that have never experienced anxiety in their entire life are so anxious and they don't know what's going on. They don't know, and they're going to like psychologist or a therapist and they're getting put on antidepressants when it has absolutely nothing to do with that. It's just crazy. So yes, I'm like, what are my other notes? But also too, like, I have to remind myself that this isn't something that I'm failing at. This is something that I'm just moving through. But there's been a lot of moments where I've been kind of like unintentionally beating myself up and I'm like, what the hell is wrong with me? Like, I feel crazy. Like, I feel, I don't know, just to have those like mood swings on a regular basis, it's exhausting. But yeah, I don't know. And like I said, it's one of those things where it's just like, it's so shitty because there's not a lot of education around it and women really suffer. One of the other things that I was like thinking about too, that's so unfair is like women in the workforce. Like I'm expected to just like do my job every day and just be like a normal human being when I'm like, my hormones are all over the place. I'm like, there's brain fog also. So you're just like, sometimes I just find myself sitting at my computer staring for like 15 minutes and I'm just like, I don't know what to do. Or I have anxiety and I'm like, I feel like I can't perform my job properly, but I'm expected to. And it's like, I don't know. I feel like there needs to be more care and understanding for like women going through this because it's no joke. It's like, it's very interesting. But also like the other thing that I feel like within the mid 40s, and again, this is like things that people don't really like talk about. I genuinely feel like I am still in my 20s. Like mentally, I'm there. And the thing that's just like so crazy is all of a sudden you get hit with this like reality that it's like my 20s and my 30s were like, I'm like, oh yeah, that was just yesterday. And I'm like, oh, that was 16 years ago. Okay, cool. And so you kind of go through this like grieving period that you're like, I'm not young anymore and I'm not old, but I'm getting older. And it's just such a weird feeling. And so it's like, I think that's one of the things that I've been kind of like struggling with. And again, that I wasn't prepared for, that I was like, I don't know, kind of just grieving that time in my life. And I mean, I think it's kind of a good thing because it just means that I had a good time in my 20s and 30s for the most part. But it's like, it's kind of just like a hit of reality that you're like, okay, I'm not young anymore. You know what I mean? And kind of just like making peace with that and letting go. But I will say, one of the things that I'm really enjoying about getting older is that, people say like, oh, when you get older, you don't give a fuck as much. And that's like totally the truth. Is like, I think you feel like there's more clarity and you're more grounded in like who you are as a person. And there's like less people pleasing and being more, because that's so real. I mean, do you guys ever do? Yeah.
We were just talking about this.
Really?
Yeah, I was like, oh, we're having like more enemies in Cuenca. And then I'm like, well, that's because we're not being people pleasers anymore. Like we don't want to deal with their shit anymore.
Yeah.
That's why. Yeah. So I was like, yeah, we were just talking about this. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's so true too, because it's like you become less tolerant for bullshit and you become more selective about like who's in your life, like how you spend your time, who you're spending your time with. And I mean, it's kind of a great feeling. You know what I mean?
freeing.
Because it's like, I don't know. I used to be such a prisoner of like people pleasing that and actually this is like super significant, but like I feel like just now in like my mid 40s, I'm finally discovering like who I am as a person, what I enjoy, what I don't enjoy. But my whole life, I was just so concerned about everybody else, everyone else's feelings, that I feel like I'm just now coming into like knowing who I am and my identity. And that feels really good too.
For me personally, in my 20s, I remember being so confused about who I was.
Yeah. Or what you should do.
Yeah, or what you should do. Like for some reason in like high school, you're like, I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm in high school, your world is like tiny, and then you graduate from college and you're like, who the fuck am I? What do I even want?
Yeah.
It's crazy. Like I was so lost in my 20s.
I mean, it seems, and that's a thing too, is when you're young, like high school, I feel like there's a little bit of like, not in high school, but just like in my 20s and in high school, like delusion. You don't know what the fuck is going on. You're just like waking up, doing the same thing, going to school, like not really having any worries or troubles or anything like that. But then coming out of high school, everybody's like, are you going to go to college? What are you going to go to college for? Where are you going to work? What kind of job? And I'm just like, I don't freaking know. Like
I'm just a baby.
I'm just a baby. Like my nephew, he's in college right now and he's super creative. We kind of share that in common, but I keep telling him like you don't have to have it all figured out. And honestly, even at this age, I don't have to have it all figured out. Like I feel like every day it's kind of day by day sometimes. And of course, like it's good to have a path, like we were just talking about for this podcast. But I mean, I don't know. It's just, I think there's some joy in like not knowing and excitement. And you're also allowing yourself to be a little bit more like fluid in opportunities and things like that. But yeah, I don't know. I think that's something that I'm like really taking away right now is just like, I used to feel like a failure, like in my younger years. I'm like, I didn't know what I was doing. And I'm like, well, I don't know what I'm doing now either.
I don't think anybody ever knows what they're doing.
But it's like, is that how it's supposed to be?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I could rabbit trail off of that all day. But yeah, it's definitely one of the things that it's like, I'm learning to make peace with is that like, it feels really jarring, you know what I mean? And for the first time feels like finite, you know what I mean? And I'm like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Youth isn't infinite. Like, what the heck? You know what I mean? And it hits you like, I don't know. It's just, I feel like I'm out of this time of my life where it's like, I've taken the rose colored glasses off, but it feels good. You know what I mean? I feel like I'm like, okay, I have this clarity that actually gives me a little bit of like relief in my life. Yeah, so it's just been like really interesting getting older. I mean, I feel like I'm kind of curious what your guys' perspectives are because I don't know, like I said, I feel young for my age and I think a lot of people think that I'm younger than I am, but like I don't know. I think when I was your age, I was like 40. Oh my gosh, that's so old. You know what I mean? But it's like we have a mix of like, friends that are different ages.
I mean, I just see it so close already.
Really?
40s. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, every year I'm like, oh, like I'm less than 10 years from there, Like I don't see it as like I see more far when I was 15.
Yeah.
Than now that I'm going to be 40.
Yeah.
It kind of hurts me though.
Yeah.
And we
Does
obviously-
it? How so?
Oh, I mean, I don't know. I think I have the same thing that you have of like,
Yeah.
I feel young.
Mm-hmm.
I do feel young, but
You are young though.
well,
Yeah.
like yesterday, I was looking at that video. I was like, I look old. Like I was looking at a video or a film of me and I was like, damn, I look old. Or like, I don't know. It's just weird. It's just a weird feeling that you're having about like, like I have more white hair and shit like that, and it's like, well, it's just, you just have to accept it, I guess.
Yeah.
Time keeps moving.
No,
Yeah.
seriously.
Yeah.
I have this mix of like I feel I still feel like I'm hip or whatever, but I'm not. Like I've lost what's going on
I know.
in like the younger. I don't know. I feel.
I mean, I don't think I'm out of the.
Oh, I think I'm out.
Oh,
Really?
Well,
I was never like that in, but like
Okay.
I do feel like okay, I'm 31. Like I'm not in this like stage of like partying or like
Yeah,
anything
sure.
like that.
Yeah.
And I feel like sometimes I'm like I'm so young. I'm 31. Oh my god, I have so
Totally.
much time.
Yeah.
But I know that like time goes fast.
Yeah.
and I have to just like
It does go fast.
enjoy it, take advantage of. Yeah, I'm like I feel like my 30s. I have this idea of like my 30s are setting me up for like
Yeah.
hopefully a comfortable 40s.
Definitely. Yeah.
But we'll see.
Yeah. I feel like all that time was like such a whirlwind. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't know. Lately on TikTok, I've been seeing all these like nostalgic reels from when like the
millennial optimism.
yes, the 90s and the 2000s. And I'm not gonna lie, it literally makes me feel so depressed. Not in a way that's like I'm old, but like in a nostalgic way that I'm just like it used to feel so close, and now I'm just like, holy shit, that was 20 years ago?
Yeah.
Like, what the heck?
The other day, I was listening to the top hits of 2015. You know, it was me, The
Those were so
Weeknd,
good.
and
I know, it's so good.
Avicii. And,
Those were our years of like
yeah,
like the early 2010
college
yeah.
years.
yeah, like 2010 to
Yeah.
16, 2017 where you're like,
Kesha.
oh yeah, Kesha.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
that makes me sad.
I know. There's something about the nostalgia that it's just like, it feels good to kind of like reflect on those memories, but at the same time,
And it's gone though.
it's gone.
I know.
And
people are making fun of it.
I'm all, you guys missed out. Like, people missed out. It's so
value. They don't know.
It's like, what is
We
it?
know.
Now this is going to make me sound old. The generation below me, is it like Gen Z?
Yeah.
Like, they want to like make fun of millennials.
Yeah, they dress like they used to dress.
But I'm like, you guys are literally wearing like everything that we wore in like high school and
Yeah.
the 2000. I'm like,
And you're like being
guys love
a
us.
millennial is not like how you dress. Like
No.
that, it's not a dress code.
Yeah.
thing, but yeah.
it's so funny. It's hilarious. But yeah, I'm like, I don't know, being at this age now, I'm really having to just like make peace and be like, okay. And just like what you were talking about too, like, I look old. Like, not being prepared to see your face like change in the mirror or like your body physically change. It's
My face is changing.
hard
It's, like,
to
weird.
deal with.
Both of our faces are changing and we're like, oh, it's gravity.
No, I know. I'm just like, I'm like this in the mirror. I'm just like, oh my gosh, how is this happening right now? But it's like, and that's another thing that I've been like thinking about is like aging gracefully. Like, do I just want to like age gracefully, or do I want to get Botox?
I go back and forth.
I go back and forth, you know.
I always end up
like
going to get Botox though.
yeah, no, same.
I'm going for that gracefully.
You're going Grace.
Yeah.
I mean, guys don't have it like girls do, though. You know what I mean? Like, you guys don't have to deal with the same things that we do. It's like,
It's not the same. And I think my skin color helps too. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not white. I think white, like skin, it's
I'm the whitest you could ever be, so I'm like, I gotta protect this
white
frail.
cracks fast.
Yeah, white.
yeah,
Yeah,
it
white
does.
cracks.
It really does. I'm like,
Starting to see the crack.
I know. I'm just like slathering myself in like 50 plus sunscreen every day. I mean, seriously,
Yeah.
but
Especially here, the sun is.
oh, it's so intense. I'm like, I realize this because, you know, I'm always wearing long sleeves. I was like, I was getting ready for bed the other night and I'm like, why are my hands like so yellow, or like they seemed really dark? And I don't put sunscreen on my hands, but like my hands are a different shade than my arms are at this point. And I'm like, oh, cool.
Well, arms are gonna be really well maintained.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just like, now I'm putting sunblock. We have to go to the beach and I need to even this out because I have a farmer's tan with just my hands.
There's a classic.
I'm like, it's a good thing I have tattoos so people can't really like notice it. But anyways, I'm like, even though I feel like I'm still in my 20s, you know, and I'm kind of like grieving and mourning this time in my life, I'm also enjoying this like newfound clarity. It's interesting. It's definitely like, it's a conversation that I would love to have more with people, with like younger people and people my age, because it's like, I don't know, like I said, I feel like your 20s and your 30s, it's not like you're floating and like you're not like grounded in reality, but you don't necessarily think about life. Like I think about death more, not in like a morbid way, but I'm just like, damn, I'm halfway through life. I'm like, I'm about to be 4 years from 50. Like that feels so weird to say because it felt so far away. Um, and like, don't get me wrong, I'm like, I don't hate getting older. I just don't feel like I was ready or prepared because I didn't have these conversations. Um, but yeah, so I'm like, we're going to conclude this episode, but basically, I'm just realizing that midlife isn't about like falling apart. It's about everything getting like becoming more honest, I guess. And the grief in realizing that you're not at the beginning anymore. That's a trip. It's just like, it's a trip. But like I said, there's also so much like clarity and there's a huge sense of relief in that. And I don't want to go back to being younger, I guess. But I do just want to. I know. I will take me back.
Take me.
I'm like, I don't, oh God.
I wouldn't. I
No.
wouldn't.
My 20s were actually like a nightmare. Like I have a lot of good
mine
memories.
too were,
we
were
wouldn't do that.
fucking.
I think there's a reason why I can't remember most of my 20s.
Yeah, I don't know how my life.
But my 30s were great. Like the 30s are
I'm
awesome.
excited for this.
Yeah, the 30s are gonna be
30s are
great.
good. 30s
So far,
have been good. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
It's definitely like a transformative time and
And like, sorry that I
No,
interrupted.
tell me.
I just have noticed this with like, so I usually have to work with people who are like in their 20s.
Mhm.
And I just notice how different we think and
Yeah.
how clear I
Mhm.
sound and logical in comparison of the 20-year-olds.
Mhm.
It's true though.
It's so true.
You know, and I notice how like their bosses or whatever, like they just like gaslight them and they easily fall on it, you know, like
Yeah.
you're so easy to fall. You're very gullible, I think.
Oh, for sure.
Insecure in your 20s, you
Yeah.
know, the 30s, you notice all those type of stuff and you're like, oh, thank God I have
Like,
this clarity.
Yeah.
For real, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, so that's a great benefit of it too.
I
Yeah.
also wish as a society that we respect, I think like specifically in the US, we don't respect our elders.
No.
And I think not respecting your elders means you are like ashamed to grow old.
Okay.
So
Yes.
our elders are wise.
Mhm.
Or like the Japanese.
And yeah,
No, 100%.
we need to change that as a society, I will say.
It's funny that you said that because I'm like, I made a note about that and forgot to say that. But it's like, I was really thinking about it and I'm like, why do I feel embarrassed to get older? Society. I do. I feel, and that was like,
I think that happens to women. Like me
It
as a
does.
man,
Yeah.
I don't feel the shame. I
Yeah.
just feel the fear of death. That's it.
yeah.
I'm like, oh, I'm gonna die. That's it. But
Women become invisible when
Mhm.
you get older.
Yeah.
Like people just
Yeah.
stop even.
the substance.
It's because we're really valued for our sexuality. And
Yeah.
when we're older, we're not valued anymore for
Mhm.
that. And so it's like, oh, whatever.
Yeah.
But the
And
good
that-
thing is all of us women have each other.
Yes.
And
I'm
We
so
love each
grateful
other.
for that. I'm literally so grateful for that. We really need each other, but it's so true. I'm like, I was thinking about that when I was writing this podcast out, but I was like, I'm like, that's so strange that I feel embarrassment and shame around like getting older. This will be a whole other like podcast episode, but also being like in my mid 40s and being single and feeling like afraid to date or meet somebody because I'm like, why would anybody want me? I'm old. You know what I mean? Like it's just different. That's like a whole other conversation that we'll have at another time. I'm single, but also don't look at me because I don't know if I actually want to meet anybody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just, I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. I really want to like move forward without pretending or forcing things that just don't fit anymore, you know? But if you're in this phase also and you feel emotional, confused, or even like a little untethered, you're not doing anything wrong. And ladies, we're just in the middle of something. You know what I mean? It's going to happen. I'm here for you if you are going through this, or if you know somebody who's going through this, like, especially again with the perimenopause, people do your freaking research, like for the people that you love. Like, it's so important. It's just educate yourself so that you can be like a good support to the women in your life that you love. I think that concludes this episode. If you watch, just know that I appreciate you guys so much. I'm still kind of like figuring out my journey with landline chats, but we're getting there. I'm so thankful for Carlos and Lauren who helped me out too, and ask me the hard questions. But I'm really excited to see where this goes. And also, I hope you come back for my next episode, because we're cooking something. We're actually cooking something, and it's going to be a great episode with Lauren. But I think that's about it. I hope you guys are well, be safe, and take care. Ciao. Say bye, Winnie. She's all, I'm going to fart. She farted earlier.